Hey you guys, and welcome to season 2 of Tea Time with Dagan. I'm so excited that we are having another season come on, and it's going to be a little different this season. We have video, so you'll be able to watch that on YouTube, and I will still be coming in through Apple and Spotify as well. I'm super pumped for the guests that will be on here this season and can't wait to hear what you guys think. So grab your tea and kick back and relax and enjoy this season with me and my friends.
All right, so today we have two very special people to me, Palmer and Lauren Askew. And I have them on here for several reasons. Lots of wisdom and lots of fun. Yeah, lots of fun.
I can bring the fun.
Yeah. But a lot of wisdom, y'all really do. And y'all mean a lot to me and Morgan and just our walk with Christ and community and our family. And so I want them to tell their story, which is exciting.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the people to hear it.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun happens with the Askews.
Hopefully, that's it.
Just kidding.
You never know what's coming up. That's one thing we've learned about our story.
That is
So before we get into that, I do want y'all to pretend like nobody knows you. Just
Yeah.
kind of like say a little bit about who you are, how y'all met.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Started, babe.
My name's Lauren, and I am originally from Ardmore, so I have known Dagan.
Ardmore girlies.
Woohoo! I have known Dagan. Gosh, I was thinking about this earlier. I think I met you when you were at Sweet Springs. We were like young at Vacation Bible School because I would go.
Man, that's
with
old
Shannon.
times.
Yes, long
VBS.
time ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we've known each other for a long time.
Yeah.
And then I am a photographer. I'm a wedding photographer and family photographer. We have been married for 10 and a half years,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
That's
Good job.
crazy.
Proud of
It
you,
is. Thank you. I'm like the most non-remembering person when it comes to anniversaries.
Our
and
roles are
birthdays.
opposite.
Yeah, we
it's
are.
normally the girl
That
that
is so
remembers
funny.
everything, and in our case, it's me.
I can't remember our anniversary or my birthday hardly. Anyone's birthday, I'm terrible.
She needs reminders.
Any
I do.
important
I have to
dates.
put it in my any important date has to go on my calendar, or I completely just
That is so
Don't-
funny.
And that's the issue. Remembers to put it in the calendar.
that
You know,
also.
it's
Right. Did you put it in there?
Yeah. I probably didn't. But
Anyway,
yeah. Anyway, so we were actually set up on a blind date by his
Yep.
stepmom.
That's hilarious. Nuh-uh.
Yes.
yeah.
we were.
It was the second attempt because her stepmom tried.
Yeah.
But then Lauren chose a
Really?
different guy over me.
Oh
No,
my gosh.
Okay.
That is not. I mean, it is kind of true. But
It's
I
all
was still-
coming out of
it
the
is all-
podcast.
yeah, but we're good now.
I was still a heathen at that point.
Yes.
All right, back to your story.
Yeah.
We'll
So
get to my
no,
story.
we
I love it.
so it was when I was working at Onyx when I was coaching cheer.
Yes.
And Vicky, his stepmom, brought West Limestone's cheerleaders to the gym for practice. And I was practicing with my little 5 and 6 year old team. And so one day randomly, she's like, Lauren, are you dating anybody? And that's always, you're like, oh, God.
Yeah.
No. I'm like, do I say no? And I was like, I'm not. And she's like, you have got to meet my stepson. And I was like, oh, okay. What does he look like? So she showed me a picture. I'm like, oh, I mean, he's cute. All right.
Yeah.
So she's like, can I get your phone number to give to him? I was like, yeah, sure. So then he like held my number for a couple of weeks, I think.
Oh yeah, it was a week.
Yeah. And then
It was a week.
he finally took it. He's like trying to play cool.
I'm like, I'm a bit cool guy here, not desperate.
Had you looked at me on Facebook at that point?
Yes.
Okay. But then, so a year before that, he was coaching football at Ardmore.
I remember that.
And my stepmom, Sherry, who works at the school, she's like, Lauren, we have a new football coach, and he is so cute. I'm like, really? And she said, you need to meet him. Like, well, how old is he? And I think you had just turned 20. You had just
I
turned
just
21.
turned 21,
And
and I was still living like it
yeah.
too.
And so I'm 3 years older. So she said 21. I automatically was like, negative. I said, no, thank you. He's too young. Because there's a big,
It is.
there can be a big difference in a 21 and a 24
Yes.
at that
Huge.
point. And so I said no. But I didn't see him or know it was him. She never told me his name.
Mm-hmm.
So when we got
Next
set up
year,
a year
yeah.
later,
It was him.
and I didn't know how old you were. I didn't know how old you were either. So Vicky didn't tell me how old you were. So
She's like, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to.
yeah, she's like, he's
That's
super
right.
nice.
Yeah.
She left out a few details.
Plus, he needs Jesus.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. And she's like, you seem like such a good girl. I'm like,
She's like desperately looking for someone good for Palmer. I
Someone.
need a good person.
yeah. So that's how we met.
I love that.
Yeah.
So what was y'all's first date?
I went and picked her up at Onyx.
Yeah.
And I'm going to call this our first date because it's the first night that we hung out.
Okay.
And then you were babysitting
Yeah.
one of the coach's daughters.
Debris Stockman.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so
I was
we
taking
had
her home.
her,
I had a babysitter, and so I had to keep her for a couple of hours. So
Yeah.
we just took her
And we hung out.
and we hung out.
And then, like, our first actual date was the Alabama-Tennessee game.
That's
I
fun.
can't remember that restaurant we went to. I feel like it was Nicole's kin.
It was her brother-in-law.
Brother-in-law.
It used to be. It's next to. It was where Smoothie King, like next to Smoothie King.
Okay.
I don't remember what
It
it
was good.
called.
It just didn't seem to ever gain traction.
Yeah, just I think
But
it's
it
a
was
double
good.
location, but it was really good.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, cool.
yeah. And after that, I just swept you off your feet.
Oh yeah, that is right.
You know, like that was it.
Let's get into what really happened. Did y'all date? How long did y'all date? Like, before you got married?
Year and a half.
A year and a half.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
But it ended up being, by the time we got married, it was
just
2
2
years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're engaged for like 6 months?
no.
3.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got engaged July 31st
Mhm.
and married December 14th. So, whatever,
Okay.
3 or 4
4
months.
months. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what people on the other end of this speaker do not know is
Yeah.
I have known both of you for a long time. I don't know
Yeah.
if Palmer remembers when we met.
Well, so that was,
But that
I
was,
don't know, I was going to bring that up. Like,
but that was before, which I grew up in church.
yeah.
I had my heathen years as well. And not that good relationship with the Lord. And that's where I met Palmer. Was, of course, field parties are a thing.
I was about to ask, wasn't it in a field?
It was in a field.
That
That is when you know you're
hilarious.
country.
And if I'm not mistaken, it was in the field of our own recreation of the Auburn Rodeo with our country outfits on. I had Daisy Dukes. Yeah, I had Daisy Dukes. And the
Is that
shirt
that
cut
picture?
off.
Oh, that's that picture.
It's the picture, yeah,
Well, that was
yeah.
the life of the party.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Just
Before
need-
and after Jesus.
yeah.
Yeah. Both. And
I was like, who is
A little
this
bit more
guy?
on the before. Okay.
Yeah.
But all of us county kids, I feel like knew each other mostly.
yeah.
The county schools rally together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Now, other than East,
Yeah.
I feel like East and
They hung out
Athens,
with
yeah,
Athens. Yeah.
yeah, y'all do y'all's own thing.
Yeah.
We're good.
And now we live in East.
I know. Now I'm in Athens.
Yeah.
Married an Athens boy. That's what people laugh because they think Athens, like people from Birmingham, like my friends from Birmingham
Yeah.
and stuff. And they're like, oh, is Athens just like this, the country school? I'm like, actually, it's the city school.
Yeah.
In Ardmore, in West, we're the country
West is
school.
the
Yeah.
country.
In Elmont, you know?
Yeah.
Whatever you do, don't call Athens country.
No,
No.
whatever you do.
You're going to offend all of us county
Yes.
school people
Yeah.
at that point.
Yeah. It is not country.
No. But I do think West Limestone takes the cake of like probably the most backwood.
It's different.
Oh yeah.
It's way on out there. I feel like that and Elmont
Oh,
are
but
both
gosh,
just
now when I
about
go
let's
out
go.
there, like I had to go out there for a session, a family session recently. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
like
Mhm.
this is so pretty.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hills.
It's
I feel like
look
Ardmore's pretty flat.
And I remember never thinking that, like when I was going to school out there.
Yeah.
You know, you just thought,
Mhm.
man, we're in the middle of nowhere.
literally the middle of nowhere. That's why I felt when we went to basketball games.
Oh yeah, I was
Yeah.
scared to drive over.
I hated driving over
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And I would always have
Watch
to
for
pass,
deer.
What was the haunt? Yeah, every time before I left, watch for deer. But what was the haunted house?
The Lester haunted
Lester
house.
haunted
Oh
house
yeah.
that you have to pass when you're going.
I did not go there.
No, you'd be
I only
fine.
went a couple times. I do not enjoy
I do
scary.
not.
I got put in
No.
a closet.
Mm-mm.
I got put in a closet
No.
and laid on a table.
I know. See, those are the stories.
Yeah, they got
you
me
would
with
See,
hear.
chainsaws.
and that's when they actually touched you
Yeah.
with all the chainsaws.
Because I was like
Yeah,
the small.
yeah.
I was the smallest one there with my friend group because I'm super short.
Yeah.
And yeah, picked me up and put me on a table.
Yeah, people would tell me stories like this. Hey, you want to go? I'm like, absolutely not. Why would I ever want to volunteer for that?
It was
No.
awful.
That does
It
not
was-
sound fun.
And I didn't even like it. I only went because my friends went.
Yeah.
I was the biggest chicken when it came to that.
Yeah.
And I would tell them, I'm like, do not let them pick me up. Because I knew, like, I'm an easy target.
Yeah.
I am the shortest one. I am,
They're coming for you.
at the time, the smallest one. And
Yes.
I'm like, they're coming, and every time they just
It was
let them
so
get me.
popular though. It
It
was
was.
such a big thing for
I mean,
everybody
it was
to
an
do.
it was an
Big
experience.
That's funny. Sorry we got off on
Yeah.
that segue.
Yeah,
That's
but-
hilarious.
Rabbit trail number 1.
Yeah, there it comes.
How many more will there be? I don't know. That's
But-
okay.
Yeah, so that was how we met.
Mhm.
We have 3 kids, 3 girls
Yep.
that are. Well, by September they will be 8, 7, and 6.
That is
We
crazy.
just
Yeah.
stacked them one after the other. Surprise
crazy.
after surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which those are stories all on its own too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know, both times thinking that we were going to adopt after Allie,
Really?
Yeah.
and then realized we were pregnant with Nora, to then set up a meeting with an adoption agency
Yeah, we met with an adoption
after
agency.
Nora,
What? I
To
had no
just-
idea.
find out literally the next week.
Yeah.
She was pregnant again with Lucy. And we're like,
Goodness.
okay, all right, well, let's figure this out, because we thought the adoption. We're like, okay, we'll adopt number 3, to then figure out, okay, which way do we want to go with number 4.
Mhm.
But it happened so fast. I was like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
okay.
3, we're good. That's all I got.
I think I remember asking y'all because I think y'all had moved back home. I don't know how old Cooper was, but I mean, your first one, you're so overwhelmed. You're just like,
Oh,
what's
yeah.
happened to me?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, what have I done? And now, hopefully, I will be way more chill with this second child.
You will.
But I remember asking y'all, like, were y'all okay? And Palmer was not really. But
Yeah.
we're good now.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
made it. It was
We-
3 under 3, and then the season of
It was 3 under 2.5.
yeah, it was
Allie
30
was
months.
2.5.
There's 30 months
Oh.
in them,
Yeah.
in between them.
And not that saying children aren't a blessing and
They
you're gonna
are.
be okay. It is
Yeah.
just the little years are so trying
Oh.
on your time and exhaustion and sleep and
Well,
things that keep you
I mean-
sane as a person.
It's
Yeah.
okay to admit that sometimes it's a grind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
even when in marriage, like sometimes
Yeah.
there's work.
Yes.
We got to plow the ground.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
It's part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay to say that. I feel like so often people want to just act like, no, it was great. You know, such a lovely season.
Yeah. Or
Behind
you're
closed
negative.
doors. Yeah.
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 Behind closed doors, they're like, what is going on? You
Yeah.
know, like, no,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
we can be
What
real
have I
with
done?
people. Yeah.
Yeah. That's like when people are like, childbirth is so beautiful. I'm like, is it though? Because
Yeah.
I vomited and Allie pooped on me. So, right out of the womb. They lay her on my chest and she just poops. And then
Cleaned it up and she did it again.
and then she did it again. And then I'm like strapped because I had a C-section. So I'm like
Yeah.
strapped to the table and throwing up.
Cannot do
And
anything.
I can't do anything about it. I'm like, yeah, it was such a beautiful experience. Yeah, they're like, it was just magical. The rush of emotion. I'm like, I'm glad for you because for me it was just yeah. And some
you get
kids,
a beautiful
and
experience.
it was
Right,
beautiful.
yeah.
It was beautiful to have a baby and all
Yes.
that. But I'm like, oh, it was.
In my
my-
situation particularly.
My personal opinion, there was a lot of poop, but it was fun. Yeah, a lot of poop there.
So a lot of babies.
A lot of babies.
Y'all moved a lot.
Moved
That's
a
a
lot.
lot of challenges with babies.
Oh yeah.
It is.
Yes. So we've moved what 4 times,
3.
3 times
Yeah.
in our marriage in 10 years.
They're right.
From Athens to Tuscaloosa, from Tuscaloosa to Mobile, from Mobile back to Athens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
3 times.
we've moved a lot, and that in itself is, I think, hard.
Yeah.
Well, and there were so many inside those transitions. The lifestyle changed so much, just from even thinking about. We were close with family when we first got married. To then, we were the first people to really move away. Now, Shannon and Lance, they moved up to Franklin,
Yeah.
but
But
I mean,
it's
that was
only
still
got an
very
hour.
accessible.
Right.
Yeah.
And we were the first part of your family.
Yeah.
So like, okay, it's a weekend trip, 3 hours away, 2.5 hours away. Well, then, I remember a certain family member telling me when we were looking at coming on staff for a church, hey, if you move her out of this state, I'll never talk to you again. I was like, I'm going where the Lord sends us.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
Well, so then we felt
I
that,
fear the Lord more than you.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm a little
I
more
love you,
scared
but
of
yeah.
God.
I
Yeah.
honor you, but like we're gonna go where he sends. Anyways, so then we moved to Daphne.
Which is 5.5 hours
Yep.
from here.
And our family's growing. So we had Allie. Nora was born 3 weeks after we moved to Daphne.
Mhm.
And then we
Um,
launched the Daphne campus
Yep.
1 week after Nora. Like I had Nora on the 30th,
30th.
and we launched the church on the 4th.
Okay.
And
Excuse me.
so it was a lot of.
That's a
It was a
lot.
lot, yeah. And then find out that pregnant again with Lucy, just a couple months later.
3 months later.
Wow. When y'all were down there?
Yep. And
Yeah.
so with all that, though, we're starting our family in the middle of probably the most stressful season we've had as a family.
Yeah.
5 hours away, or 3 hours away, 3.5 hours from my family. 3.5 hours was the closest family members.
Okay.
And so we got really used to, like, we were doing life not on our own, because like God surrounded us with people when we were down there for sure,
Mhm.
you know.
Mhm.
So we had help, but we didn't have the grandparents that were just accessible
Yeah.
night and day.
To where it's like, I need to run a Target.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or can
or
I-
just need a break.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
just need to go take a nap.
We
Yes.
we need a
Sleep.
date night, you
Yeah.
know,
Can
whatever it
someone
may be.
come keep them? Yeah.
Um,
So that.
And then to now, I mean, I walk outside my back, I look out the back window, I don't even walk outside, and I see my in-laws.
Mhm.
That's big. That's a pretty big
It's a lot of
shift.
changes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of changes.
Mhm.
But I think it helped. I think it was great for our marriage to have
Hands down.
to be on our own in a way and really relying on each other.
Mhm.
Because even when we moved to Tuscaloosa, we knew a good many people, or I did.
You did,
I knew
yeah.
a lot of people because I went there for college.
I thought it was the biggest mistake we ever made
He
at
did.
first.
Really?
Oh yeah, because when we first moved down there, I moved down.
Yeah.
I had my company the company I was working for at the time. They offered me the position, and they offered me in July. When I accepted it, I was down in August,
Mhm.
so I was living in a hotel by myself. We hadn't been married a year
No,
yet.
it was like we'd been married like 9 months
Yeah.
when he moved.
And so
Wow.
there was a moment. I feel like it was October, November, first Wednesday.
Yeah, because I knew, because I worked for Limestone County, and I knew just through mutual connection in IT, I knew the City of Tuscaloosa IT director. And so he had told me, hey, I'm going to have a job opening, but it won't be until February because someone was retiring. So it's like, if you can hold out till February, then like I can guarantee you'll have a job. And we just felt like at the time that was the best because I was still in the retirement system. It was kind of just like a lateral
Yeah.
move, doing something I was already doing.
Mhm.
And I didn't have, then you just took the stress of like trying to find a job out.
Yeah, and we didn't think at that point that we could live on one income. Well, we
Yeah.
know now we could,
That's laughable.
but we didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't at that
At
point.
the time, we didn't feel secure enough for me to be able to just like quit my job and go
Yeah.
try to find one.
So
Yeah.
she stayed
So
up
I
here
stayed.
and kept working.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So from August to February, she was here.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we were down there.
And we had
or
a
I was down there.
miscarriage during that time.
Yep.
Which was hard because we were not
Together.
together.
Yep.
Mhm. Yeah, I was like
Wow.
living at my mom's house.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I was living back with my mom and my stepdad
Yeah.
when that happened.
And that was the, I thought, was like, God, I made a mistake. I heard you wrong. Like this. Nope. God, I missed it. I'm sorry. And I remember sitting in the truck during First Wednesday. We just got done setting up the Bryant Conference Center. And I was like, God, if I don't hear from you right now,
Mhm.
I'm calling my boss tomorrow and I'm telling him they got it wrong. I got it wrong. I'm going back. So I can't do this. And next thing I know, here comes Lauren bebopping through the parking lot. And I'm like, what are you doing? And about the time I said that, I just started bawling because I felt in that moment that was God saying, you're right where you need to be. And she said, I don't know. Like as soon as I got off work, I felt God say, you need to go see your husband. So she drove down.
And then I drove back after First Wednesday.
Yeah.
We went to First Wednesday and I drove back here. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the weirdest thing. It was like I was at work and it was really the Holy Spirit. And I know it was like, you need to go.
Mhm.
And I'm like, why? But I didn't know why, but that was,
part of it.
yeah. And if we wouldn't have stayed, I don't think we would be where we are today.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, obviously,
It's
like
hard
God
to tell, but
ordains
It's hard
everything,
to
but
see how it wouldn't have been because of how close I got. There's a guy down there by the name of Bill McDaniel that God used to just shape me in so many ways spiritually, which really like began,
Mhm.
or not began, but put into overdrive
Yeah.
spiritual formation. Maybe the best way to say it.
Tuscaloosa?
Yeah.
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 Because I feel like those opportunities, which I do want to get into that, those opportunities that when y'all moved there brought you to Daphne, then brought you back here.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like it would have.
Yeah.
You think
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
if
there's
you
been-
wouldn't
yeah.
have listened, if Lauren would have been there, would all of this, like that obedience, like would all of that trickled into God's plan? I don't
Well,
know.
Who knows?
And that's the thing we don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so looking back, even on like my story, like being in ministry was never part of my story.
Yeah.
From what I thought, or never part of my plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, I'm thinking growing up, first off, I'm going to be an all-boy dad. Okay, got that wrong. You know, but, you know, I was going to do some type of teaching. I love sports. I want to be involved in sports. And I was just living for the flesh. Like, let's just be honest. That's what it was.
From a young age.
From a young age, yeah. Like, and that was I don't think that's any disrespect towards my parents, you know. But we were kind of in church. But what I saw, the lifestyles I saw, spoke louder to me than the words I was hearing. Probably about the best way I can say it.
Yeah.
And so that was what was shaping me at that point. And so I was living it up in any way that I could, which led to the field parties.
Yeah.
You know, not even really remember
Sorry,
meeting
Mom and
you.
Dad.
You know what I mean?
Sorry, anyone that's listening.
You're listening to this?
Yeah, no, it'll be all right. Yeah, I love them. We're close. But like just those little things of pursuing whatever alcohol, whatever made me feel good in the moment. You know, like I was all for that. But that led me to a point of desperation. And I didn't know what I was desperate for. And that's why I kept grabbing for all those things more and more and more. Because I thought I was just desperate for more of that feeling of that night. But yet I was really looking for something that would last much longer. And then when we met, you know, Lauren grew up. I mean, you had a 2-week phase where you kind of got away from Jesus in your life.
2
Something
weeks.
like that.
LOL. It was like 6 months.
Anyways, you grew up with
Yeah.
the relationship with Christ.
Yeah.
You grew up knowing about him and going to church every now and then. And so
Or
seeing
going
her,
to church all the time.
who, me?
No, I thought you were talking about me, that
No.
I was going to church every now and then. I was like, oh no, I was at the church if it was open.
Yeah, you were there. I
Yeah.
was the one that was like just every now and then.
Okay, yeah.
And then, but seeing you, I think when we met, what stood out to me was the fact that there was something different about you in that. And I was like, okay, wait, all this other stuff that I've been grasping for, it keeps failing me. But she's got something that I need to know a little bit more about. And
I think what's interesting too is, well, first of all, I had told my mom when I was like 13 or 14 that I came in her room one night. I was like, Mom, I think I'm going to marry a pastor. Like, I was like reading my Bible and it just hit me. And she's like, really? I was like, yeah. And she said, well, just, you know, kind of like keep praying about it or whatever. And then
yeah, when I was 13, I was sneaking my dad's whiskey.
oh my God.
It's gonna be him.
That is him. But what's funny, it's funny because when we met, that was like clearly not where you were at.
Yeah.
But when we met, it was so weird. I could just see so much potential in him, like
Yes.
leadership potential. I mean, you were leading all your friends to do the wrong thing, but everyone was so like naturally drawn. Oops,
I'm telling you, he was
Drawn-
the life of
yeah,
the party.
they were drawn to you.
I was
And
like, who is this guy?
it was so weird. Because I remember I would tell you sometimes, like, you have so much potential that you don't even realize.
And I didn't know how to accept it at first.
Yeah.
But it kept me around. You
Yeah.
know, so there was a moment, that first year of our relationship, like, I'm just going to say it, like,
Awful.
I put you through hell.
Yeah,
Like, I'm just going to say it. I'm sorry.
I
I
Like,
really
beat
don't
that
know.
out if you
I
need to,
really
you know?
don't know.
Explicit.
Yeah, wow, we're getting
Put
crazy.
the E on it. Yeah.
Put an E on it.
I don't know. And I honestly, like, looking back now, I don't know why we stayed together
It was.
in that first year.
Yeah, but it was you. Like, for some reason, you kept staying with me
Yeah.
because I was being pulled in two different directions. Like, I wanted what you had so bad, but yet this was so comfortable. Life
Yeah.
was so comfortable. The going out and living, you know, whatever for the flesh. This was what I knew. This is what I knew was fun. This is what I knew was relational. And like, let's be honest, like, I had some really good friends by the world standards.
Yeah.
I had friends that were there for me.
Yeah.
And like, we went through a lot together. So this was
They've been your
hard.
friends since like middle school.
A long time.
Yeah.
I mean, this was hard. But there was just something that, like, I had to have it. And end up, like, you know, make it through it. And you almost left me. I guess you would go into this part of the story.
Oh yeah, when you started.
We'll
talking
just
to
kind of,
somebody on Twitter.
we'll just kind of like leave it very, yeah. We're
So
just gonna
vague
go very
part.
over, yeah.
Yeah.
1,000-foot view here is I started communicating with another female, thought I deleted the messages
Oh, but
because
that
I
Holy
decided,
Spirit,
like, okay, I'm not going to do
the
this. This is like a
Lord
year and a
loves
half
me.
that this was July.
It was basically right a
It was
year.
not right before I proposed to you.
No, a year before that.
Okay.
It was like basically a year
That's
before
right.
you
That's right. That's
proposed.
right. That's right. Yeah. And I thought I deleted every message because I was like, you know what, I'm not following through with this. Like, there's something here that I still haven't figured out what it was. Anyways, well, me and my dad go fishing one morning. And first off, let me just say, me and my dad, like, he's not a big fisherman. So it was just by chance that morning he asked me to go, and I was like, yeah, let's go.
Also, let me preface this by saying, it sounds kind of crazy that I did look at your phone because I don't do that. I don't think I had never done that before. I had never looked at his phone, and it was really, I was sitting. We were at their friend's house. We were at the lake.
We were
on Lake Martin.
We're 3 hours away from here. Okay.
Yeah, it was a great time.
And so,
and something just tells me to look at his phone, specifically Twitter. I don't even know why Twitter, but
It's so random.
it's so random.
Yeah, because that's not the first place you would think.
Mm-hmm.
So I look at his phone, I get on Twitter, and there's messages from
A lot of Holy Spirit moments here in this
Yeah.
relationship.
from somebody, and they're talking back and forth, and I was like, what the heck?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I was so mad.
We pulled back in from
So
the
I
boat,
go
and
into-
she's standing on the dock, and I'm like,
That's a little interesting.
this isn't right.
And I'm not really a confrontational person at all.
We
I
got-
hate conflict.
Yeah, we got off the boat, and Lauren goes, it's time for you to take me home. And I was like, what do you mean? She goes, I saw the messages.
Is your heart just like,
I started bawling.
Yeah.
I started immediately bawling.
I think his dad said that's the hardest he's ever seen him cry.
Oh, I mean, I was ugly crying. Like, I couldn't talk. And so she's already got her bags packed.
and you're like, get me out of
And
here.
I'm just talking to my dad, like, what do I do? And he goes, son, you screwed up. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, crap, I did. Well, somehow, I don't know. There's a lot of other details in there I'm sure I'm forgetting. But somehow, by the time we got back to Birmingham,
Yeah.
Which Birmingham was a big city for us, too.
Yeah.
But we'll get back to that later. As far as like these type of moments,
Yeah.
by the time we got back to Birmingham, like you'd extended grace to me. Now, what was hard was I had to rebuild that trust.
Yeah.
From that moment forwards.
Yeah.
But I was able. I think you were able to see my heart when I told you. For some reason, you trusted me when I said no. I decided like I wasn't going to follow through with it.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, there was
Yeah.
some reason. But
Oh.
yeah. Anyways, you stayed with me.
Yeah.
And after that, I think that was the first time I truly experienced grace.
Yeah.
Like that I can like put a real big finger on it. Like, hey, that was a moment somebody extended grace to me when I needed it the most. Like somebody really cared.
Mhm.
Big Jesus moment for me. And so after that, I was like, okay, hey, I'll start going to church.
So you weren't going.
No, at this point,
I'm about to say, your faith journey when y'all were dating, what was it?
she was going. I would go every now and then at
You would
best.
complain.
Yeah,
It would be a pity go. You
Yeah.
would go because I'm like, you need to go.
yeah. And so we started going to another church here in town that was closer for me because you said at that point, hey, I'll come to you
Yeah, like
if you'll just go.
yeah, if you'll tell me where you want to go, I'll go with you.
So we go. There was a guy that I knew from a church that kind of went to growing up here that was at this new church.
Okay.
And so we're like, okay, well, we'll go there because I know him. Well, then about that time, so this is roughly timeline August, September
Of 2013.
13.
Yes.
So then you hear about Highlands.
Yes, so I get an email because I went to Highlands in Tuscaloosa
Right.
from like 2008 to 2010.
Mhm.
And I had gotten an email saying that they were launching a Huntsville campus.
Mhm.
And I was jazzed. I
Yes.
was like, yes. So, and I think I had talked to Katie. So I was good friends with Katie Pedrum in
Yes.
high school. I mean, not high school, college. And so I was told Palmer, I was like, hey, we are going to Highlands when it launches. And he was
I
like,
said, hey, I'm not driving 45 minutes to go to a church.
Yeah, he did.
Like,
I mean,
it ain't happening.
yeah. He's like, I'm not. He's like, Lauren, that is in Huntsville. We're not going. I was like, well, technically it's in Madison.
Well, and at that point, Huntsville seems so much further away.
Yeah, than it does
Too,
now
than it does
because there wasn't Cliff Farms.
Yeah,
Right,
it was all farmland.
Past your time
Yeah.
as you went
Yes.
Yeah, the only reason I would want to come to Huntsville at that point was go to Windmill Beverages. Like that's it. Other than that, I wanted nothing to do.
Yeah.
I did not expect you to say that. I thought you were going to say like Dick's Sporting Goods or something. Oh my gosh.
I thought you were going to
say.
say Sammy G's, honestly.
Oh, that one too. Yeah, that one too.
Oh man.
Well, so anyways, all right. So I'm like, I'm not going to that church. And then a month goes by, so roughly October, November. She goes, all right, well, I want to start serving at this church. And I was like, Lauren, I'm never going to serve at a church. Like, I'm coming with you. This is showing
That's
you.
enough.
Like,
So
I'm
essentially,
in.
your relationship with the Lord was you're coming to church, you're not reading your
now-
Bible.
We're going to go back to just your southern, hey, what do you do?
You just go to church.
go to church.
Got it. Okay.
Just go.
I'm just trying to get the fuzzy
Yep.
lines
Like
clear.
that's it.
Okay,
I'm not thinking about relationship. I'm thinking about religion.
Got it.
Hey, what do I need to do?
Got it.
A, to keep her around.
Yeah.
B, say that I'm in a relationship with the Lord. Now, I pray before I go to bed, like, God, thank you. And then just knock out.
God, thank you.
that's
He's
about
like,
all
this guy. We're supposed to work on this man.
And he's like, yeah. And his
Anyways, I'm
sovereignty
sorry.
knows the future. And he's like, man, this is going to be rough.
So, all right. So, fast forward. We got opening launch weekend of Highlands in Huntsville. I think it was the first weekend in February, if I remember right. Well, we were in Auburn visiting my mom, and my mom would go to Highlands there, and they were like, "Hey, let's go." I was like, "Okay, cool. We'll do it. We're here."
Mhm.
And there was just something different. I don't know. I couldn't tell you anything about the message. I don't even know if it was Pastor Chris preaching, but it was just there was a moment in that room where I was like, "This is what I'm missing." So I'm still in this tension moment of the life or what Jesus, how Lauren's living, and I realized in that room that day it was at the old furniture store.
Yeah,
they were still
furniture factory.
they were still at the furniture place there, and I realized this is what I'm missing, and so I get real quiet the rest of the afternoon. We start to drive back, get to Birmingham again, and I just remember looking at Lauren and saying, "Hey, I'll drive 45 minutes to go to that church next week. Like, just plan on it because I'm going."
Then he still said, but don't ask me to serve.
Yeah, I was like, but we're going. And so Hunter Lambert, this is when me and him were just inseparable.
Mhm.
So I'm telling him about it. He's like, all right, I'll meet you there. And so we all three go.
Yeah.
And we go to the 9.
And he was also not living.
No,
for
me
Jesus
and him,
at the
we
time.
were all in the world together.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't tell this story, but if we were both in here, we could get plenty of laughs.
Sure.
Anyways,
Sure.
so we go the next weekend. So the second weekend that is the campus here at Columbia High School,
Mhm.
and we're at the 9:30 service. We get ready to leave, and they're like, "All right, where are we going?" And I was like, "We're not going back home." They're like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "I got to come back to this growth track thing. I don't know what's happening inside of me,
Mhm.
but I need that." And at that point, it was 201.
Yeah.
Which 201 was
Discovered.
no. It was growing closer to the Lord. It was like discovering your Bible.
Yeah.
It wasn't like the spiritual gifts.
Yeah.
It was getting in the Word.
Mhm.
And I was like, I got to go to that. I'm not missing it.
Mhm.
So we go to it. Next week, we come to the 11:30 service so that we can go to the 1 o'clock growth track. Go do it. Then we come back to step 401. We join the team. Me and Hunter both get on the setup teardown team. I'm like, I'm ready to start. Like, I'm in. Come back to step 1 the next week or 101. And I sit down with my plate of food. And I can't speak. The Hunter and Lauren are sitting down, and I just sit down, and I just stand up and walk out. And Lauren's like, "What do you do?" And I'm like,
Yeah, like, where are you
I can't talk. But she's like, "Where are you going?" It's like, I gotta get baptized. And so I just walk over, and I start to sign up. Well, about this time, Keith Pepper's there. There's a bunch of people that we just knew from Limestone County that ended up being there, and I got baptized.
Wow.
And that was like the moment that just everything, it felt like everything in me. I was weightless.
Mhm.
And all my old desires, that tension I keep talking about, it was no more. It was like, okay, I know what to do. This is it. And that was just kind of the start to get on these moments of jumping into Highlands College, moving down to Tuscaloosa, that set up the Daphne campus. But I mean, I guess I can get into all these details too.
Yeah. Please.
So then after that, don't let me keep taking over.
Oh, no.
But anyways,
No, this is great. I feel like
I talk plenty.
she
Okay,
gives
all
the
right.
details when,
Yes.
Okay, all right, cool.
I talk plenty.
Look, first podcast here, guys.
On the front end, I told him.
Y'all are
Okay,
doing
so-
fabulous. We've already laughed halfway through this thing. I love it.
Well, so after that, joined the setup teardown team. Well, I had a bunch of guys, like Lauren was saying, like she kept speaking into me. Well, I had a bunch of guys like speaking into me. And I was like, well, what are these people talking about? Like, there's more to me. Like, that God's got a plan for me. I got a purpose. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And I'm driving. So I end up, so that's February, March. By July, they had asked me to start leading the setup teardown team. So I'm driving the Penske truck every Sunday morning, getting everything in, even before that. Well, I'm driving in, and I'm just praying. I'm like, okay, God, like, what if there's more? What is it? What do you have? You know, I'm fresh on this spiritual journey. Now I have a relationship with Christ. And like that was the first moment that I'm not going to say it was audible, but it was as loud in my head as I ever could have heard the Lord's voice when it was, I just heard this, Highlands College. And I start crying. Like I'm emotional. I'm an emotional guy.
Palmer's a crier.
She's not the
I love
emotional one. I'm the emotional one.
It's weird.
It was
I love it.
really
We're
weird.
so opposite.
But so I just start bawling, and I'm like, okay, well, let's do this journey. And I tell Lauren about it, and then at this point, I just proposed. It was right out. It was
right after you
It was
proposed.
right after I proposed to you. Yeah.
Yeah, because we got married in December and you started Highlands College in January.
And I proposed in July,
Yeah.
and so that would have been August because I just missed that semester's sign up.
Mhm.
So we talked about it. Everything was going good. We ended up getting married and talking about, okay, what am I going to do in Highlands College? Well, I'm still thinking I'm this blue collar guy. Like, just let me work hard in my hands, calloused hands. I'll be dirty at the end of the day. I'm good. That's who I am. And so I'm heading down to Highlands College orientation, and I'm thinking workplace ministry. Well, I just hear yet again a second time, like where just as clear in my head as it could be, lead pastoral. So there was different tracks at Highlands College at the time. I want to do workplace ministry, like I said. Lead pastoral was the other one. I was like, heck no. Like, that is not
It's a
me.
scary thing.
Yes.
That's
Oh, yeah.
scary.
Especially when you think of, like, at that point, I was still trying to
You're still very
disqualify.
fresh.
Yeah, and I'm disqualifying myself because of my story, because of all the life that I lived. I still hadn't fully understood the redeeming power of Jesus.
Yeah.
You know, that comes from the empty tomb, the resurrection. So anyways, and so I'm having this argument with the Lord. I'm driving. I think I'm still in the Saab. No, I was in the
No,
truck.
you're
I was
in
in
the
the truck
red
by
truck.
that point. I was, okay, so anyways, that was a completely pointless detail. And so driving down to Birmingham, and I'm having this argument with the Lord, and I'm like, okay, God, what? I'm not doing lead pastoral. I'm doing workplace ministry, and you know, I'm like, if that's what you want me to do, I need audible right now, radio silence. So I'm like, that's it. I know what I'm doing, workplace ministry, and go into Highlands College Chapel. And we start off with worship, and after that, I go, all right, first semester, you're going to orientation up here, yada, yada. So we go up there, and Michael Hodges comes in. He makes a couple of jokes, and he goes, all right, let's get down to business. I've got one major announcement. This is probably the only big announcement to make for this semester, but we're no longer going to offer workplace ministry. And so I'm like,
Dang.
okay. So I guess that's the audible.
Oh, it seems really clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty clear.
Okay, Lord, I guess that's it. So go through lead pastoral. And now I'm thinking, I'm going to be the best facilities guy any church has ever seen. Like, if I'm going through this to come on staff of the church, I'm going to be the best
You would be
facilities
great
guy.
at that, but
Anybody,
God
yeah.
had more.
And so that's when we start to the transition to Tuscaloosa. And what's even cool about that was I told my boss, like, hey, boss, he had a lot of turnover at his yard up here in Huntsville. And when he hired me, I told him, hey, man, you'll never have to worry about me moving. Like, we just got plugged into a church. I'm doing Highlands College. So the only way I'll ever leave is if I go to ministry. And he was like, yes, sir.
Sweet.
All in for it.
Yeah.
Because in that company, you could, if you're willing to move, you could advance
Pretty quick.
pretty quick.
Yeah.
And so, anyways, so fast forwarding, he knew that, and he had come to me. Our regional sales manager came to him and said, hey, I want to talk to Palmer about going to Tuscaloosa and being the outside rep at that yard. And Mike said, go for it. He ain't going nowhere, with complete confidence. And so they called me in, And I'll never forget Mike and Tom sitting there about like how we're sitting today. And Tom said, "Hey, I want to talk to you about like moving to Tuscaloosa, yada, yada, yada." And I said, "Yeah, I'll pray about it." And Mike's face was just so shocked. He was like, it looked like I betrayed him in that moment. And I just kind of looked at him and was like, "I'm so sorry.
You're like,
Mike.
I don't know why
I
I
don't
said
know
that.
why I said that, but I just feel like I need to pray about that."
Yeah.
And so anyways, so we prayed about it, and they didn't give me long. Like I had like maybe a week. I don't even know if I had a full week.
I think it was like 3 days.
Yeah, it
I
was
think
not
they met
long.
with you on a Thursday, and then they said by Monday I need to know. Or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
It was very, it
'Cause
was like a
then-
very short time.
So yeah, so we came back, gave them the decision, and then it was less than 2 weeks later. I moved. So I'm down in Tuscaloosa at this point. And we had felt like we fasted and felt like, okay, this was it until we got there, or I got there.
When you got there,
Yeah, and then realized
This
that
is
she
terrible.
was in what's it called, still up here after just a few months of being married. And I'm going, this is not it. Got it wrong. Well, that's the whole first Wednesday story we talked about. But then from there, Bill McDaniel, he was the dream team director at the time, and we're still close. But so he had went on a spiritual retreat on his own, and he went to the mountains and he did his own little fasting thing just for some decisions he was trying to make. Well, he came home and he invited me to lunch, and he said, for some reason, because the whole time I'm up there praying about where God's leading me, your name's the one that kept coming up. And we didn't know it. Like, he knew who I was. But like, we weren't close. We didn't sit down and talk. And he just said, if you'll trust me, I'd love just to invite you into my life and pour into you. And that was when I'm sitting here thinking, I'm still going to be the best facilities guy. I'm the facilities guy in Tuscaloosa's right-hand man at this point.
Wow.
Like, we're tight. I'm like, Chris, I'm going to do what you're doing. And so then I started getting real close to Bill, and Bill just challenged the fire out of me. You want to talk about discipleship. Like, that guy, when you talk about inviting people into your life, like when you read of Jesus and the amount of time he spent with his disciples, that's how I felt with Bill.
Yeah.
Now, we were married, so it was different. We didn't have
y'all
a
went
kid
to lunch all the time.
all the time.
And we
It was
were
at least once a week.
Yeah, and we were at church all the time,
We were at church a lot.
like every service.
And that's what was wild too. But just thinking, well, we'll get to that. But yeah, so that was just a major part of my spiritual formation and really pulling me out of my shell. He started prepping me to lead Growth Track. I was leading step 2 as just a dream teamer and hosting step 1s. And he did public speaking, small groups, and he would be so hard on me. It would make me so mad. But yet, like, it helped me a ton. And at Highlands College, if he was there and somebody was going to have to share something, I just knew, all right, better start thinking about something because he's calling on me. That's all there is to it. Well, down there, Jimmy was the campus pastor. And I'm still on my story here. Are we still good?
We're great. You're doing great.
And so Jimmy was the campus pastor in Tuscaloosa. We're there 15 to
18.
18.
We were there 3 years.
Yeah, we were there 3 years.
3 years.
And so, but me and Jimmy were never really like close. I was really close with Bill. So Jimmy he knew us.
Yeah.
We'd say, hey, but it's not like me and Jimmy were ever like, hey, let's go hang out, let's go whatever. And so when we started getting into the process of like stepping into vocational management, graduate Highlands College, I interned there for a year.
Yeah.
We really got close with the church down in Baytown, Texas. And
Almost moved to Texas.
like, we were FaceTiming him and his wife. We were probably for a month there. Like, we were in constant communication. And that was funny. I love the I'll go and share it now. That's when, remember, he asked me, what are 3 adjectives? And I was like, hey, what's an adjective?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh my goodness.
What? 27 years old.
I'm like, a descriptive form.
Panic.
Anyways, yeah.
That's
I was
hilarious.
like, I'm going to mute you real quick. What's an adjective?
Mute you while I think about this.
Anyways,
That's so
another
cool,
point
though.
of
I
detail.
didn't know that.
Yeah, but we got real close. But he asked, he said, hey, okay, we want to fly y'all down. And after the service Sunday, if you feel like this is it, we're ready to make an offer for you to come on staff. And I said, okay, before, like you do that's behind plane tickets, that's putting us in a hotel. I said, I don't want y'all to spend that money if we don't know for sure this is it.
That we're ready to accept.
Yeah, and 3 days, we did a 3-day fast. And I called Lauren. I was sitting in the driveway. She was about to get off work. And I said, babe, I've heard nothing from the Lord. What about you? She goes, nothing. I said, we said we'd go anywhere. In this entire journey, we told God, we would go anywhere you sent us, no matter how uncomfortable it was. I said, let's do it. And she said, okay. I pulled the guy's name up on my phone. And before I could hit call, I got a phone call. And I guess I'm going to go ahead and share this part of the story. I think it's okay with Pastor Allen.
Yeah.
It was Pastor Allen.
Wow.
So this is 2017. It's 17 because we came on 18. And Alan said, hey man, we're about to launch a second Huntsville campus. You're the guy.
So many years ago.
Yeah. And so like in that moment, this is 2017.
Yeah, he's
so
like, I
in
want
that
you to
moment,
come.
like I just start bawling once again because I'm the emotional one.
Yeah.
Oh no, I cried too.
Yeah.
That's
Because I
emotional
called.
because you're about to get on a plane to go to Texas.
Yeah, and instead, like we're going home, and so I got off the phone with him, and I felt God. I felt him tell me, like, you meant it when you say you'd go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, like, Lord, you're so good. You're so much better than what we could ever imagine.
Abraham, Isaac moment.
Yeah. And so I call Lauren and tell her we're both sobbing on the phone.
I'm like, we get to go home.
So then we come up here that
Jokes
Sunday.
on us.
So we come up here that Sunday, and we go to church, and we're hanging out with Alan. And I'm like, this is not it. It's like, God, I heard you wrong again. Like, how do I keep getting this wrong? I'm questioning my own faith at this point.
Yeah.
But so we're driving back, and I tell Lauren, like, that's not it. And I don't think God's ever going to send us back up there. It was that uncomfortable. I was like, I don't think He'll ever send us back up there after what we experienced today.
And it wasn't anything bad.
It was nothing bad. There was
just
not
something in your
one
spirit.
negative thing.
Yeah.
There was just not a peace. You know, you read of Jesus sending the disciples out, and when you go to a place, if your peace comes back on you, then you know to leave.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that was kind of that. Like I didn't feel like there was peace.
Yeah.
Inside of me, nothing happened. No negative. Like we were high fiving, seeing old friends. Everything was great. But it just felt like that wasn't it. So we're driving back, and now I'm like, I messed up, and we just turned down this job at Baytown to go down there. Now what? You know, it's in my heart to be in ministry, and I'm thinking I just completely messed that up. Well, by the time we had gotten home, I talked to Bill again, and he said, and he was asking how it went, and I was like, man, that's not it. And he goes, okay, well, there's 2 other campus pastors that want to talk to you. I was like, oh, I'm just blown away. And so we get really close with one down, and at that point, he was at the Greystone campus. So now we're getting really close with Pastor Charles and Kelly, or not Kelly, Charles Kelly, Wendy, yeah, Pastor Charles and Wendy. And so we're thinking at this point, okay, Huntsville's not it. Which hindsight's 2020, campus just launched.
Yep.
So anyways, and we get to where we're really close with Charles and Wendy for Greystone.
So we think, okay, this is it.
Yeah, we're like, okay, this is it. Even though neither one of us like Birmingham. Like, let's just be honest.
Yeah.
That's just nothing wrong with you Birmingham people, okay?
Yes.
Don't get upset at us.
It's just not our
city.
style.
Yeah,
not our
that's
place.
it. That's
Not
it.
our place.
And so we're like, this is it. We're stepping into 21 days of prayer, January of 2018. Charles calls me on, I guess it was that Friday, because I think you were still at work, that Friday. And he just says, hey, Palmer, I just need you to know you're my guy. So the second time I've heard you're my guy. You know what I mean? And like, so I'm feeling kind of confident. And I'm like, all right, great. Pastor Charles, we love you. Like, you're our people. We want to be there for you. And he goes, but. I was like, oh, shoot, what's coming? He said, I feel God's about to stir you. And I don't know why. So let's just go into 21 days of prayer and let's give it all to him.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, well, sure. Like, I trust you, Pastor. You know,
Right.
kind of discouraged
kind
because
of.
I'm like, is he trying to get rid of me? You know?
Yeah.
Well,
Is he giving me a compliment sandwich?
yeah. So Lauren comes home, and she then says, hey, I know we love Charles and Wendy. I haven't told her about the conversation. And she goes, I know we love Charles and Wendy, but I feel God is telling us that we need to pray about the Mobile Day campus. At that point, it had been announced that it was being launched.
And we
Pastor
have
Jimmy
friends
from
going.
Tuscaloosa was going. He was going to be the campus pastor down there. But once again, like me and Jimmy, we weren't close with him.
Right.
Like we had not talked one thing about it. And I think that was announced in August at team night.
Yeah.
This is January. So there's been months.
And he had already moved. Jimmy and Kristen had
Yeah,
already
that's
moved.
right, that's right,
They moved
yeah.
in like December. And I just remember saying, I don't know why I feel led to pray about it. Maybe it's because like we had several friends. Well, Pastor Jimmy, and then some of our good friends were going with him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know if it's just a prayer, just for them as they go.
Yeah. And then, so I was like, okay, well, that's cool. I told her about Pastor Charles, and like that's something that's attractive to me, but I thought that was just kind of a flesh thing. We're getting close to the beach, whatever.
Yes.
So we go to Jimmy the next morning. He's in Tuscaloosa that weekend. And I said, hey, man, do you have a couple minutes to talk? And he said, yeah, of course. And so we go meet with him. And I said, hey, we don't know. We're not asking for anything. We're just telling you, we feel God's telling us to pray about like what it could look like with Mobile Bay campus. And he just said, what's going on with you and Pastor Charles? And I told him, and he just said, I didn't want to step on his toes, but I've been wanting to ask you to pray about it. But he's like, but I have so much respect for him that I wasn't going to.
Wow.
And so it was just that moment that then led us to
Like 3 people have just said.
within 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's what was so wild about it. It was so boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
That led us down to helping launch that campus.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And then, something that people don't know, and I don't even know if Palmer remembers this, but I know you do. So when y'all lived in that little house, when y'all were still home before you moved to Tuscaloosa, y'all had just gotten married.
First.
Our first house.
And I was in your
You were my first small group I ever led.
Yes, because I was in this like weird. Y'all helped me so much on my journey with the Lord that y'all probably don't even realize of just like. And I didn't mean to interrupt your story. It was just like the segue of the moving and
We're
stuff.
sponsored.
But we're just hanging out. This is how it actually goes when we're at each other's houses.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Yeah.
But like Lauren had that small group, and I was in between. Do I stay at the church that I've been, growing up at, or do I go to Highlands? And like I was so just like being tugged on, that tension of just like when you have that year long or however long it is of just. You're kind of like in the world, kind of going back, and you're like, who are my friends? Who am I? What am I supposed to do? And just being in that small group where we were like breaking down scripture, people were so vulnerable. I had never been in a group of women, and no offense to like Baptist churches, but ain't nobody getting vulnerable. Nobody.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're just sitting around, learning about the scripture, which is great.
Yeah.
Being challenged, which is great. Knowledge is great.
Yeah.
And it's helped me so much with who I am today. But the vulnerability of opening up and like really digging deep, I'm like, oh snap! Like this is where change happens,
Yeah.
And I remember you encouraging me to like come and stuff, and I think I had started going by myself, I think, or with Kiza maybe. And I remember talking to Palmer one time because I was like, these people that are just like flinging their hands up in the air is so distracting.
We were in our kitchen.
We were in the kitchen talking to y'all, and I was like, and I'm trying not to have a bad heart about it, but I'm distracted.
Yeah.
And I will never forget. Palmer was like, "Close your eyes. Just close your eyes. Don't look at them." And I was like, "Okay." That next Sunday, I was just. I just closed my eyes because I wanted to like so badly worship the Lord like I do on my own, you know. But it is this weird, you go from like nobody's raising a hand, nobody's saying anything. And I did grow up in a church before when I was younger, and it was very charismatic. And then I go to one where they're wearing blue jeans, and I thought everybody was going to hell. I was like, what is happening?
In a dress?
I was like, people are in blue jeans? Mom! And then I go to Highlands. I'm like, who am I now? But y'all just helped me so much of just getting over those like cultural like barricades that keep you from wanting to get closer. Not that raising your hands makes you closer to the Lord, but it is this like act of surrender that somebody that struggles with pride even to this day is very hard to do. And just y'all broke down a lot of pride moments for me. So just like I don't know, just get vulnerable. Like Lauren taught me that, and just like. I mean, you can pray the roof off a house.
Ain't no doubt.
Oh. I mean, I called, this is recent. I mean, you could do that then, but recently I have been going through a lot. And I was like, I'm not going up there unless Lauren's available. Sometimes you just want somebody to pray over you that's like knows you.
Yeah.
And it was like our first Wednesday over
Yeah.
there. And I went up there and I was like, I didn't even know what to tell you. I was like, I'm just going through a lot and just, and I don't even know what I told you. I'm like, I don't even know what I said. I don't even know, And so she just starts praying over me. And I called Whitney or told Whitney, I was like, Lauren Askew. Which is the Holy Spirit. But I was like, oh my goodness. Like, it was just everything I needed to hear. But I was like, that woman can pray at the freaking roof off the house.
It's the Holy Spirit.
It was, but I was just like,
I love prayer.
The confidence of that y'all both had in the Lord helped me have confidence in the Lord. And so that's why, that's truly why I wanted y'all on here. Y'all just have done so much for me that you don't even realize.
Yeah.
And y'all's story means so much to me that God has more for you.
He's got more. Like, and that is if somebody asks me, sum up your story, because that's just, I feel like that's just a halfway point.
Mm-hmm.
But it is truly either you can say, A, God has more, or B, don't put God in the box.
Yeah.
Which they kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah.
And that was where I kept putting him in this box all throughout that journey, to where finally I'm like, there's no lid, Lord.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do with this guy from West Limestone.
Yeah.
But it's the redemption stuff that you're talking about. It's a very hard thing to grasp.
Yeah.
Especially when you know right from wrong and you're doing wrong. And you're like, how would he use me? Like this podcast, I'm like, no, thank you. Like, I do not want to do this.
Yeah.
Like, people know what I've done. People know what I've said. People know, you know what I mean? And then it's like, but who cares? It's not about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that was, so even going the same thing, that was something that when we felt called back up here, I was telling Lauren, like, Lauren, I'm scared to death to go back home.
It's like you're passing through your face.
And she's going, like, wow, we just felt God. Because we were up here for Christmas of 21.
Yeah.
And
we felt very clear, like, you will come back.
Like, we were driving around.
I felt that too.
Like,
I told you that.
Do you remember that
at the beach? I was like, Lauren, y'all have to come back.
Hey, that was almost confirmation. That was, I told you this.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I did.
No, you don't. You probably don't remember.
She did our family beach trippers.
The season we were in, when Palmer would not have remembered because he had so much fun with us. But I took y'all's pictures.
Yes.
Cooper was like a baby.
He was 6 months old.
Yeah, he was like 6 months old, and we're randomly walking on the beach, and we had already felt led back.
Yeah.
And we were walking on the beach because we were at the beach to take our picture, and you randomly said, like, y'all have to come back. Y'all need to come back. And I just remember being like, but we couldn't tell anybody at the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, we would love to. But it was such a confirmation.
No, you have to. I know you would love to.
Yeah, but it was such a confirmation for even for me that you said, it's like, okay,
there is something here.
There is something here. Because we had been like feeling that. And then you said it, and I was like, all right.
We're probably overstepped. I was like,
no. Then did you remember when you messaged me on Instagram and she's like, hey, they just announced a new Huntsville campus. Do you think there's positions going to be open?
So,
I was such a
but we already knew. We already knew.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so weird.
No, it was awesome.
Sometimes people need that, though.
Yeah, like it was
like, how many times
needed.
do we hold something in that God's telling us, hey, encourage them there?
Yeah.
And when you do that one little statement, like let the Lord do with it from there, just throw it out there.
Yeah, but it was very much confirmation that, like, okay, because it was scary coming back.
It was scary, yeah.
Just because we had been away for so long, and it's like, okay, are we gonna have are the friendships the same?
Yeah.
And that was the hardest thing for our journey. Is every time we would get really close with people, God would uproot us and move us somewhere else. And then we get really close to Him again, and then boom, God uprooted us.
Yep, here we go again.
Moved us down to Daphne. Just did it again.
Yeah.
Because down there, like with the first few years, it was so difficult because we're playing at campus. I'm trying to figure out how to be a pastor. Well, we're leading everyone.
Everyone we knew in Daphne, we were leading.
Everyone.
Every single person, because we didn't know anybody wanted to move.
Yeah, outside of staff.
Outside of staff.
Staff's all we knew. So it was really hard to build that trust to finally get to the vulnerability that you were talking about. There's certain levels that you can always be vulnerable and transparent, but there's also other levels that you can't just like tell everybody everything.
Nope.
You know, like there's a very certain few you can tell those people everything. We didn't have that. Well, we finally were getting that, and then boom, what happened?
Let's go again.
God uproots us and moves us again, which this has been the best, most peaceful, smoothest transition. It's crazy. It's already almost been 2 years.
No, like 5 minutes away from me.
I know, it's so nice. So nice. And just to have those, I think there's been something so nice about having moving to somewhere where you did already have somewhat of established friendships.
Yeah.
That you could just re-engage, I guess would be the word, those friends.
Well, I think it was Darius Daniels Wednesday night that was talking about that the one thing the Bible is very clear on is relationships.
Yeah.
If it wasn't him, it was somebody recently. So, but
Someone
anyways,
said that.
It's so clear on it.
so clear on it, and you got to have it. And then when you actually open your eyes to the right relationships in your life and the impact it makes, you see the truth that's in it.
Yeah.
And that's what's got us through all of this.
Now, I do have a question
Yeah.
from a listener
Ask it.
for you, Palmer.
Okay.
Did you show him these questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you already were ready for it. Okay, so what was the hardest part about giving up your past? Just like that whole transition of the tension.
Yeah.
Into now you're a pastor and now you're living the life of Christ, and like what was the hardest part of that transition?
I think it was the relationships.
Yeah.
Like as I've chewed on that question, I think that's what kept me wanting to go back to that life so much. Yeah, I was trying to fill voids, with substances or whatever. But those were great people that I was hanging out with. We had, like I said earlier, there was a ton of fun. And if you take the spiritual aspect of it out, you wonder, like, why would I ever want to step away from those people? And it's not that I ever wanted to step away from them. Like, that was never it. But I had to step away from the lifestyle.
Yeah.
And that was very hard for you.
That was
It
hard.
was very hard. The friend part.
The friend part was
The lifestyle
really
wasn't
hard.
hard, but
Because you
friends.
loved him. You
Yeah.
developed
You
love.
love him.
yeah.
And I didn't know who I was without them.
Yeah.
And then once again, so then what happens? Well, we get plugged in and we start making really good friends here.
Yeah.
Then what happens? God uproots us and moves us to Tuscaloosa. So it's just that, but that relationship side on the front end, like that was, it's almost like that set us up for the story that God had of how much we were going to have to transition.
Yeah.
Now, we don't know if he's done. We kind of hope he's done moving us.
Kind of hope we're here for a long time.
Hope we're here.
I hope so too.
But it's truly, God, what do you have?
Yeah.
And I feel that's how we have lived our life.
Yeah. I think, and even when I was thinking about that question, not necessarily like your past, but just like daily surrendering your life to God.
Yeah.
I thought just the constant yes. Like we strive to always say yes. Like if it's from God, we say yes.
Yeah.
And that's scary at times when you think about
It is so scary.
it is when you think about your ministry, your life, your children. Like no matter what, we're gonna trust that God knows what He's doing.
And things go back to like your life is not your own.
Yeah.
It's hard to. So often we want to control everything because we think we know what's best. And then, like in that moment, like I want to control my friends, and like no, like I can't leave them. But God's saying no. Like I'm not saying you have to leave them, but you got to walk away from that lifestyle and trust me to do in them what I'm doing in you.
Yeah.
Like because I'm not the one. I can't change anybody. I can just live what He's doing inside of me.
Don't we wish we could?
Oh yeah, and allow the Lord to use
Well, it's like a
us.
savior complex. You
Exactly.
think that
And
you
we're-
can save people.
Exactly.
and you
That's not
can't.
us. No, like we can just, hey, this is the decision I'm gonna make.
Yeah.
I'd love for y'all
I would
to
love
do
for
it
you to
with
come
me.
with me.
Yeah. I'm in it with you if you want to go the same route of pursuing Christ.
Yeah.
And like that was really hard because those people that we're so close with that I probably have not talked to now in years.
Yeah.
And like that stinks.
Yeah.
Because if we sat down in a chair over there,
Mhm.
we could probably laugh and talk about a lot of probably bad stories, but
Yes.
but we would get some good laughs out of it.
Yeah.
But I think that would just be a reminder. It could be okay, let me say it this way. So what's so cool about all those stories now, where I used to be so afraid of them and afraid of people telling them and sharing them because I was worried that would pull me backwards and it would pull somebody's perspective of me down.
Yes.
Well, when you let it go and you realize, no, wait a second, the truth of my life is not my own. Like, God, this is yours. Now He can take those stories and you can tell them and laugh, but people are able to look at me and go, oh my God, what He's done in your life. And so that's the shift that's come inside of me, of now allowing Him to use every single one of those moments. I'll never forget a friend of mine that knew me in high school. We actually ran into him a couple weeks ago.
At Wildwood Deli.
But the last time I saw him before that, was probably 2014. I don't think we were married yet. And I just remember him saying, Palmer, seeing you make this change gives me hope. Because if God can do it in you, I know He'll do it in me one day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he remembers saying that, but I remember him looking at me. I remember where we were, everything about that moment. And so now it just allows me to look back and remember, like, okay, wait, all that I've gone through, there's purpose to it.
There is.
Yeah.
And God's going to use it. And so that helped us even with making the move up here.
Yeah. Well, y'all, sorry.
Go for it.
Okay.
You got it.
Well, just the words that you said is like something else I want to touch on before we're done is Allie.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
y'all had, we just went through all these moves, all these like, God, what are you doing? God, was I listening to you? But your oldest daughter,
Mhm.
I kind of want you to tell that
Yeah.
Cliff Notes version of just like what happened, how just the challenges of that
Yeah.
amongst all this
Oh,
change.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, our oldest Allie, she is 8 now, but she was diagnosed with cerebral palsy at 22 months, I believe. 22 months, yeah.
We
And
just had Nora.
we had just moved. This was all in that.
We
So
just
where are
launched the
y'all
church.
at now?
So-
Sorry,
So we're in
y'all
Dagan.
had
Dagan.
We just
moved to
had
Dagan.
Nora, just launched the
Yeah.
church or the campus.
Yeah.
Down
You
there.
got that
You want
diagnosis.
to talk about stress?
Yeah, so we moved, like I said,
Whew.
Nora's born in July. We launched in August. And Allie was kind of taking steps, but not really.
Yeah.
Um,
She could like get from the chair to the table,
Okay.
and then from the table to
yeah, but
chair.
she
whatever.
was not walking individually. And she had hip dysplasia as a baby. So she was in the little harness that makes her look a frog. And so they had told us like she'll probably be delayed on walking until about 18 months. So all of her milestones will be a little bit delayed. And so, and she was a little delayed in everything.
Yeah.
Or right on the, like the edge
Tail
of
end.
the tail end of it being delayed. She was our first kid. I had babysat my whole life, but I had never been around an infant
Right.
all the time. And so, like, now looking back, I can see it and how she was different than our other two. But, so we just moved. We noticed she wasn't walking right. I emailed the orthopedic, because we were still in Tuscaloosa when we had her.
Mhm.
So we were at Children's in Birmingham. That was where her orthopedic was. I called him and I said, hey, I don't think my daughter's walking right. Like, can you see her? And they looked her up and they're like, well, she's coming in for her 2-year checkup in about 6 months. It was like 6 months. This was in like October. And I said, okay, well, I'm gonna send a video to you, because it was the physical therapist that I was talking to. I said, I'm gonna send you a video and I just want you to look at it. And so I sent her the video. I mean, she like immediately called me back. And she said, okay, yeah, we're gonna get you in. So it was
We're still thinking hip dysplasia.
yeah, I'm still thinking we're thinking it's our hips.
It's right before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it was in
that's all
October.
you can like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all you want it to be.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what we're thinking. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't think anything else. And so that October, we go to Children's in Birmingham, and they do an x-ray of our hips. This was the worst.
Ortho was great.
Ortho was great.
He came down, talked
Yeah.
to us. And,
So he said, like, I don't think it's her hips. He said, it's not her hips. It's probably neurological.
and he didn't want to say it.
Yeah, he didn't want to say what it was. He just said, I think it's neurological. We're going to send y'all up to neuro on the whatever floor.
Yeah.
So we go up there, and I mean, we had Nora with us too. It was like Allie and Nora. It was what, looking at our newborn and her.
Anyways, go for it.
No, he did say neurological. I said, I think it's neurological.
Okay.
And so we get up there, and God bless her, this little girl was a resident. She wasn't. You just could tell she had not had a
Hard
lot.
combos.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
just period. A lot of And so
Because she's fresh.
yeah, she's
Which
fresh.
is like, okay, hey, you got to have a rep. But
Yeah.
in that moment,
It was
I
not.
didn't need somebody.
I didn't want to be. We didn't want to be the rep.
Yeah.
And so she comes in and she just looks at us. Oh no, I'm going to get emotional. Look, this is when I get emotional.
I'm sorry, I don't have any tissues.
Oh no!
Wait, yes, I do.
Look, I don't cry.
Sit over there, I can get
I'll be
it.
all right. But so she came in and she hands us a pamphlet and says, "We think your daughter has cerebral palsy." And we're both like, "What?"
I had no idea what cerebral palsy is.
I mean, I knew what it was, but anyone I'd ever seen was in a wheelchair.
Yes.
And I didn't know, is it degenerative? Is it,
My mind went straight degenerative.
Yeah, like
worst case scenario.
Yeah, like she's gonna die.
This is the best she's ever gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and so she says that and gives us a little pamphlet. It was like fire hose of information for something we didn't even expect. Like we thought we were here for our hips.
You want to talk about furious? Like I'm just sitting there trying to keep it all together and not lose my mind on it.
Because it's out of control. It's out of control.
Yeah, and the way, just their delivery.
The delivery wasn't great. And then she looks at us and she just said, like, oh no, I'm not gonna cry. She just looked at us and she said, I don't know that she'll ever walk independently. And in that moment, because we didn't know what it was, just in that moment, you just look, because you just want your kid to be perfect.
Yes.
You don't want your kid to have struggle. And I was just seeing, like, what is her life going to look like? But because we didn't know. We didn't know any different. And just wondering, like, and as a mother, not knowing how to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just so hard. And I just remember her saying that and being just so heartbroken that this perfect little angel is going to struggle. And so they do all that. They're like, we have to do an MRI to confirm it. And if it's not on the MRI, then we have to look at genetics. So then you just get in your mind of like, oh my gosh, what
about Nora?
What about Nora?
Mm-hmm.
Because at the time she was like 5 months old, but you didn't have to worry about it. I'm like, I ain't worried about that.
No,
I'm just kidding. No, it was Lucy.
Laura would be like, Laura,
no, that was.
Do you think that's normal?
It was Lucy. I was
Because
kidding. Help
like,
it.
her hands like this. I'm like, gosh, she's fine.
Yeah, I would like ask the poor physician. God bless Miss Melody at physical therapy in Daphne. I would be making her look at Lucy and be like, is that normal? And she's like, Lauren, yes. But anyway, so you just have all these thoughts of like, what is this going to look like? Mm-hmm. And so we get in the car. All this is happening. We get in the car, and Palmer don't even remember saying it. I don't think, because I said it the other day and you didn't remember. But it was such a moment for me. And so it was clearly the Holy Spirit. Palmer just was like, Lauren, we're not going to accept this. We're not going to accept that she's not going to walk. And I'm like, okay. And everything with Allie has always fallen around 21 days of prayer. I feel like. So that was in, that was October. We had the MRI in November, and then she was officially diagnosed in December, and she still wasn't walking well. So we go into 21 days, and so, like you saying that about prayer, I think God, that's when I learned to pray, really, I think was with Allie. Because we went into that like fully, what? You think I've always known?
Yeah, it's a gift. It's a spiritual gift.
Yeah, it's a spiritual gift, but I feel like it really sharpened it with her. So we went into 21 days, and just like that was our main focus, was like for Allie to walk. It was very specific of like, we want her to walk, we want her healed. And I'll never forget, it was after 21 days. Remember, that was like in January, and in late February, right before her second birthday. Remember, she just like took off in the backyard and walked. And we were like, what? This is awesome. And there have been so many other moments like that with her, where she would just start doing something that she couldn't do the day before. And so we've done countless hours of physical therapy, so much therapy. And so then in 2023,
you going to the surgery? Or going to the prayer? Which one does the prayer work?
Oh yes, that was 2022.
We learned about the surgery.
I learned about the surgery on Facebook. I saw it on Facebook, and
we were against it.
I was like, I told him, I'm like, these people are crazy. I would never let someone operate on her spinal cord.
Ugh.
So because it's a spinal cord surgery, they like have to cut through the nerves that are sending. So that
we said that we'd allow her to get old enough where she could.
Where she could decide. And so because it's like the signal from your brain to your legs back to your brain that tells her, because Allie is tight. So the kind of cerebral palsy is a spectrum. We did learn that. And hers it can be like they're too loose or they're too tight. Her muscles are always too tight. So they cut the nerves to make her legs her brain not tell them to tighten up.
Where she can stand up straight.
So she can stand up straight. All these things.
Yeah.
But I'm like, absolutely not. We're not doing that. And so that was I think it was during the summer because it was August, 21 Days of Prayer.
Okay.
Is that when he had his dream?
Oh no, Palmer
we
dreamed.
forgot
Oh,
about
I
that.
forgot about the dream.
Sorry.
That's before cerebral palsy, though.
That was before she was even born.
Yeah, that was. Yeah. No, that was.
I'm sorry to interrupt that.
No.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
such
that
an
was
interrupter.
No,
because we didn't
no,
find out the gender
Yeah, we didn't
of
find out
Alan.
what she was.
We didn't know.
Okay, well, tell me the
And-
dream really quick, and then
Yeah.
follow
Yeah,
the
so we're
surgery.
sitting. We just laid down in bed one night.
Were you pregnant?
She's
Okay.
pregnant. Yeah,
Okay.
she's pregnant. We're just gotten past the 20-week.
Yeah, but we didn't find out.
We had
didn't
no
want to know.
idea. We didn't find out the gender, and we laid down in bed, and I just saw this picture of this girl running up from the water, like in her bathing suit, running up a hill, and like I'm seeing pine trees, and I see her, and I said, Lauren, it's a girl. She said, what? I said, I just saw her. Weirdest thing. Like I wasn't asleep. I was
Curly
laid.
hair. She
We
had
had
curly-
just laid down.
It's what she looks like.
Yeah, and I told her, I said, she's gonna have curly hair. She's gonna have your color eyes. She's gonna have my facial structure. Something I can't remember.
It was so specific.
And she was like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "I'm telling you, just that's it. I just saw her. God just showed me her." And so then we get to all this diagnosis,
Yeah,
and she can't walk.
yeah,
You
she
know,
can't
she's
walk,
struggling
and he
walking.
saw her running, and so. Yeah, so we go into 21 Days of Prayer after I was like, we're not doing that. No surgery for her. And it was the first day, and I was at home because obviously I had kids, so I couldn't go. I was at home, and I was watching. It was like the Holy Spirit just, obviously not audibly, but like in my spirit said, you didn't even pray about that surgery. Did you even ask me? I'm like, oh, I didn't know
Got
that.
us.
Yeah, got her. So I was like, okay, God, I'm going to pray. And I said, I was like, I will pray about it, but like, I don't need a crack in the door. I don't need a cracked window. I need a door flung wide open that says like, this is what you're going to do. So 21 days go by. We end up, she had an orthopedic appointment, like a week after prayer, not very long after. And mind you, we have seen, because we have now moved so many times, we have seen so many different specialists, so many different therapists, all of these things. No one has ever mentioned this surgery to us, ever. I found it. And so I take her to the orthopedic, and we're about to leave. And everything's good. And he said, hey, by the way, have you ever heard of SDR surgery? It's called selective dorsal rhizotomy. And I like laughed. I'm like, oh my gosh. I said, I have. He said, I think she's a perfect candidate. I was like, darn it.
No, she's not.
I'm like, but I just knew it was confirmation. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, well, you know.
But then we heard it again from
Yeah.
Melody.
Yeah, and
Melody.
then so then our therapist, I asked her about it, and I never asked her before, and she's like, yeah, I think she's a perfect candidate. She's like, I've never rehabbed one, but I think she's a perfect candidate. And if you want a referral,
Yeah.
Wow.
And then your cousin, they had it.
well, that's who I saw it. That's where I saw it first.
Oh, okay.
Was
Okay.
them.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
so my cousin's little boy, he's like my distant cousin, he had the surgery. And so I was able to ask them about it. But we were like, okay, well, we're going to pursue it. But still the same, hesitant. Like,
Oh,
it has to be
Got it.
doors
That piece.
wide
gotta be
open.
all of
Yeah,
this.
we better have the piece. So we go to, we pick, there's only like 15 to 20
Yeah, it wasn't
surgeons in the world that do it. It's a very specific surgery, and there happened to be one at Vanderbilt. So we go to Vanderbilt and do the consultation, and they're like, perfect candidate. So we're like, okay, we're going to do it. So we do it in March
23.
of 23. We were at Vanderbilt, or we were in a hotel for a month doing therapy. Talk about a marriage test.
Yeah,
That
I'm
was-
driving.
Yeah,
I'm driving.
on the weekends.
Yeah,
8 hours
yeah.
from Nashville to Daphne.
Daphne turn around and drive right back up Sunday nights after church.
Yeah,
Goodness.
long month.
Yeah.
And so then she had to do all these follow-ups. She had to do therapy 4 days a week. Then we kind of like dwindled it down. And so then we went back to her 1 year post-op. And it's like a panel of 7 doctors that you have to
Awesome experience.
that have to approve for the surgery. And yeah, it was
You tell them all the same story.
Yeah,
Same
over and
thing.
over and
It's very repetitive.
we're Team Vanderbilt over here.
Yeah.
They were incredible. The care team was like nothing we had ever experienced. So anyway, we do all the therapies. We go back at her 1 year post-op. Same 7 doctors. They do all of these tests. Did you have something else?
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, like, whenever right after surgery, another God moment was they said it'd probably take her 2 weeks to walk post-op.
And we walked out of the hospital.
She walked 2 days later.
Yeah. Walked out of the hospital. And so we go back for the 1 year, and they do all the same tests. It's like a ton of tests that they have to do to see her mobility. And they came back in the room, and the girl said, Allie has scored higher than any kid we've ever had in a lot of the areas. And her numbers were just off the charts in like how she had improved. And I think it's so funny about your dream, because I think it just goes back to that, where at the time we just thought it was the gender, but I feel it was a prophecy over her life that she would run, and that things that we were told that she would probably never do, she has done. She played soccer, she rode a bike, and I think just we have learned so much from her having cerebral palsy. I think we're better parents. I think we're better people, I think. Just because the one thing I've learned is like the miracle is a marathon sometimes. You know, it's not always a sprint, because there's so many times where we think, and we still pray. I still pray every night that Allie wakes up tomorrow and that she walks like everybody else. I pray it every night over her. We pray for healing, like God heal her brain, and but also because we want it to be instantaneous. You want the miracle. Everybody does. I mean, but sometimes the miracle is the journey to see. Like, there are so many people I think that have been changed because of Allie. And we have seen so many good things from her. I think it's made our other 2 girls better. I think
it's taught our whole family how to care. How to care really well. Not just for each other, but just for others. And having perspective. Because even as tough as our situation is, when we're sitting in Vanderbilt, we've seen families that are going through way, way worse. And you just, in those moments, it shifts you back to how grateful we are for a faithful God. Who, no matter what you're going through, like, he's present. Like, just because you're going through something difficult doesn't mean he's not there.
And he's still the same.
He's the same no matter what. And that was I remember in the moment that when we found out, like, I was pissed. I'll just say it. I was mad. Those couple of weeks there, I was like, every day, like, God, I cannot believe you. I cannot believe you did this. Until it was like one day he finally let me get every bit of it out. And I just remember another one of those moments where it's just as loud as it could be in my head. You prayed for me to give her a story that only she could tell, to reach thousands. And that was that moment of, you're right, God, you can use this. I don't think he gave her that sickness. That's not my theology. But I do believe that it's the parable of Matt, they're talking to Jesus. Jesus, who sinned that this guy's blind? He says, well, it's not because anybody sinned, so that my God can be glorified. Same way with Allie. Like, it's the only reason she's in this is so that God can be glorified, not us. And he's doing it.
Because there's so many times where it's easy to say, like, I remember at one point thinking, like, God, we moved here. We moved from everything we knew to do this for you. And like, in full transparency, I was like, and this is what we get? Like, this is it? This is like, this is what we have? But then I just remember being like, why not us? Why?
That was a big shift.
Why not us? Why? And I just remember, I don't even know if you remember this, like Blake Mayo, the small groups pastor at the Mobile campus. I think it was when we were trying to decide to do surgery or not. He looked at me and he was like, God ordained you to be her mother. God didn't let anyone else be her mother. He trusted her to you because he knew that you would lean on him and make the decision. He's like, and sometimes God gives us the free will and the wisdom to make the decision. And he trusted her to you. And I just remember like, oh, okay. And so I don't know, she's just taught us, I think, so much. about the goodness of God, and not just because we've seen miracles in her life, but just because of who He is.
Mhm.
Like, He is so present in the moments that are hard. You know, it's easy to say, "Oh yeah, I'm giving my life to God" when everything's going great.
Yeah.
But in those moments, you get to a deeper level of trust, a deeper level of just reliance. I
Yeah.
think on God and who He says He is. Because what's funny is, like, after I miscarried before her, and the verse that stuck with me was Hebrews 10:23. He who promises faithful.
Yeah.
Is like, let us hold unswervingly. Is it? Yeah, it's 10:23. Let us hold unswervingly to the faith that you profess, because He who promised is faithful. And that was the verse I prayed after I miscarried when I got to get pregnant again. But now looking back, that's the verse for her life. I think just that He who promised is faithful, and how God continually reminds us of things of His faithfulness. Like I told Palmer at the Freedom Conference the other night, they never play Place of Freedom until the very
It's
end.
the last song.
It's the last song every year.
And
Yes.
we played it all through.
Yeah, and I wasn't even there. I didn't get to be there on Saturday because I had a wedding, so I was there Friday night, and they played it. And I used to sing that song over Allie. Like when Allie was a baby, before pre-diagnosis, I don't know why, I always sang that over her. And it was the same specific line. I don't sing the whole song when I'm singing. A lot of times I just sing the same song, the lines
It's
over
just
and
how
over.
your brain works.
Yeah, that's because I'm ADHD. But I would always sing, and I'm not going to sing it because you know I can't sing. But the line, there's a calm that covers me when I kneel down at your feet. It's a place of healing. It's a place where I find freedom. And I would always sing that verse and then the chorus, but I could never remember the other verse. So I'd just go back to that one when I was like rocking her to sleep or whatever. And so at the Freedom Conference, 8 years later, we're standing there, and it was just like the Holy Spirit said, "Oh, I'm going to cry again."
I'm about to cry just you saying those words.
It was the Holy Spirit just was like, you were singing those words over her before you knew she needed to be healed. But I knew she needed to be healed. And it was just such a good reminder that in His goodness and His sovereignty, He knows what we need before we need it, or before we even know that we need it. Like I was singing that He is a place of healing before I even knew she was sick. You know, and how many times we've probably had that in our own life, that when we were walking through things, God knew what we needed before we even knew that we needed them. And I think that's just something I've learned, that we really don't have control. That's a hard lesson to learn.
Yeah.
But it's okay, because He has it, even when we don't feel it.
That's beautiful. So well said. Well, I'm going to jump to a happy subject.
Yeah. Well, we love a good happy subject.
After we're like drying our tears. Hang on.
You know?
Yep. Oh, cutting onions over here.
Oh, my goodness. That was beautiful though. But to wrap it up.
Yeah.
I always ask, we're on Tea Time with Dagan because I have a problem. Everybody at church knows Matt Betts makes fun of me all the time. He's like, "You got your tea with you?" I'm like, "Yep." Then I name my podcast after it.
I like it.
I love it. It's tea time, spilling the tea book about the Lord.
I also love the Queen, and so tea time, British.
Oh yes,
I like it for that too.
I was like, what are you talking
Hot
about?
tea time.
Yeah, hot tea time.
I knew what she meant.
Hot tea.
So I always ask everybody who's on here if you like sweet tea. Now, majority of the people, surprisingly, do not like sweet tea that have been on this show.
Communist.
I know. Listen, look, I was like, we called out Palmer before. Like, what was it? Morgan and I was like,
Morgan
my very
called me
first
out.
episode.
Yeah.
I was like, why did I not edit that out? I'm so sorry.
Morgan called me communist.
Because y'all had unsweet tea at your house.
Because I like
yeah.
unsweet tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, your favorite type of tea, best tea you've ever had. I like to ask my guests that.
Okay, well, I don't like sweet tea.
See,
There you go.
there we go.
But I do like herbal teas. So my favorite herbal tea. Well, first of all, if you've never had a medicine ball from Starbucks, go ahead and get you one. But at home, I like to do a lemon tea and a peppermint tea with a little bit of honey.
That sounds good too.
Palmer don't like
I
love herbal tea.
Now I like some herbal tea, especially during the winter.
Yeah.
Like I like coffee in the morning, and then I can drink one in the afternoon. I like my tea.
I'm also off caffeine.
That is true.
So I have to go herbal.
Yeah.
I love sweet tea. It's not that I don't love sweet tea. Sweet tea is my favorite tea, but I choose as a discipline to drink unsweet tea. I like unsweet tea.
Maybe one day.
But yeah. So at the house, I try to keep unsweet if I'm going to drink it, because if not, sugar for me, it's a drug. And once I have one little taste of it, that's it. Spencer was laughing at me the other day.
6 brownies later.
I mean, I can't stop. Once I take a sip or a bite of anything with sugar, I'm like, I gotta have more. So that's why I have to have unsweet tea at the house, or I'll drink the whole thing.
But your favorite you've ever had? Sweet tea.
Oh gosh.
Like you're like.
So we're talking about a place. We're talking about a place.
Place. You know, some people have told me it's their grandparents. Some people have told me it's their aunt. Some people told me.
I'm just gonna be honest. There's not many homemade sweet teas that I'm a big fan of. Like there's just something different, and I don't know if it's just not enough sugar. I don't know what it is.
We need more.
Oh man, I don't know. This is really tough.
You're on your own over here.
I really like Chick-fil-A. Always has good tea. You know, sometimes you can order a tea somewhere.
Thank you.
And they get it wrong. They just get it wrong. I don't know if they're washing it. I don't know if they're washing it with an old rag or what it is. But so Chick-fil-A, you never have to worry about that. So Chick-fil-A's tea is on it. There was a restaurant called Cravers in Daphne.
Okay.
That it was a little bitty hole in the wall.
Shout out to Daphne.
Just shout out to them. They had an incredible sweet tea. And they had the good ice.
Oh
yeah! Oh man, just everything about it. Yep.
Gosh, it's the best.
So I would say that's probably Chick-fil-A or Cravers down there. Probably not.
It's the best.
Yeah.
What I'd say right
I'm a Starbucks. Starbucks.
You're like, don't look at me.
Don't look at me. I mean, I can name my favorite soft drink, but I don't know about teas. I don't know why. I've never liked it.
It's okay.
But I think it's because my mom doesn't like it.
Yeah.
So we didn't have it in our house growing up.
Yeah.
But
well, we all had some drop.
We did have some sun drop.
I could never get on that.
Now I was a hardcore sun drop drinker until we moved away.
Yeah.
And now I feel like every time
syrup.
Oh man.
I tried to drink it and I was like, I can't do this. It tastes like almost like it's up there with Dr. Pepper for me in the syrupy department. Palmer likes Dr. Pepper.
Like any soft drink, I like the first half of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After that, I'm good.
Done.
Yep.
And a lot of ice. Just water that thing down.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm a Coke Zero gal.
But I only like cans. I don't like bottle.
Yeah.
I don't like bottle soft drinks. I like cans.
Yeah.
Way off the tee.
Ooh, now, okay. I'm going to say, I will say this about Sundrop. Buc-ee's has Sundrop on tap.
Do they really?
And because I feel like Sundrop over the years has gotten more syrupy.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know if that's just because I drank it so much and I stopped and I started again. But at Buc-ee's, they have Sundrop on tap. And I tried it because I'm like, I'm going to give this a run. And it is not as syrupy. It had more of what I would consider an older school Sundrop flavor.
Good to know.
I mean, how did Buc-ee's end up in the conversation?
I love it.
Buc-ee's
always ends up there. I don't get it.
Yeah.
With Lauren,
no matter where you go,
happen?
it just seems like no matter where I go, either Buc-ee's is going to be talked about or you're going to see a shirt.
Hey,
one of the two.
Or a swimsuit.
In the summer at the beach when we went down there, Buc-ee's swimsuits
everywhere.
You saw the beaver everywhere.
It's so funny. Saw the beaver everywhere. Cooper thinks
the Buc-ee's beaver.
Yeah, the Buc-ee's beaver. Well, nowadays you never know.
You really don't. You don't. This is so funny. Oh my gosh. Well, thank y'all for being on this.
Yes.
Yeah, this is fun.
This was so fun.
Thank you for asking us.
We laughed so much. I loved it.
We did. We just had a few tears.